6,200 minutes. 8 years spent in school. Growing up, I was homeschooled. I grew up with workbooks and teachers from my church. I struggled to learn because I found lots of ways to avoid my work. Then, when I turned 10, I went off to 4th grade at my first charter school, Legacy Preparatory in Plano. I remember my older sister dropping me off and dropping my mom off at her work and then picking us up, taking us to school, and then driving herself to high school. I remember sitting in the car line and being one of the first names called because she would get in line early to pick us up. I couldn't appreciate how incredible it was for a junior in high school to manage all of that. To me, she was just my sister. After Legacy, I moved schools and came here to Founders Classical Academy in Mesquite. It was a big change for me, switching schools and still getting used to the public school system. I was introduced to the ideas of sports and playing on a team. In 7th grade, I wanted to play basketball, but I missed tryouts and I was terrified to talk to Coach Eason. My mom paid me $5 to go and ask him for a chance to be on the team. He told me if I could make 20 layups in a row, then I could join the team. I practiced layups every day, but despite all my effort, I didn't make it onto the team that year. Despite this, Coach Eason taught me a very important lesson through this exercise. He taught me to always put in effort, even if I don't succeed. 7th grade faded into 8th, then 8th grade turned into a 4-month vacation as COVID-19 hit. Then high school officially started. As we all know, high school is an emotional roller coaster. I started playing all kinds of sports, and honestly, there were many days when I did not want to go to practice anymore. My mom would look at me and say, "You can't quit. Quitting is a habit. You always finish what you start."
Amen.
I may not have agreed at the time, but now I see that it's true. And I'm thankful to have my mom to push me to be better. As the school years passed, I was taught a new lesson every day, not only from my classes, but from my classmates. I joined soccer and played on the varsity team with some of my best friends. I remember our last game before state. We were fighting for first place in our district. I pushed myself as hard as I could during the game. It was a game where we had to leave everything out on the field. We were up 3-2 in the last 7 minutes. The opposing team was bringing the ball up toward the net to try to take a shot. I ran as hard as I could and slid and kicked the ball. I managed to kick it to one of my teammates, but in the process, I felt a sharp pain in my calf. I pushed myself too hard and caught the worst cramp of my life. I could not even walk. My teammates carried me off the field. I sat on the side and watched helplessly as the other team scored on the side that I would have been playing on. We were tied and going into a shootout. I sat there devastated. If only I could have pushed myself farther. If only I had stayed in the game. As shots were being taken, I could barely bring myself to look. If we lost, it would be my fault. Then I felt my teammate, my classmate, put his hand on my shoulder, showing me that I was not alone, that we rise and fall as a team. My class has always had my back, and I will always have theirs. Finishing junior year was one of the most difficult tasks I've ever done. The endless assignments and notes, spending many late night hours finishing homework, spending mornings studying for tests. It was the hardest year of my life, but it was also the most defining. Forcing myself to finish my assignments and to study taught me resilience, to always try to be the best person I can be. It taught me that success is not about intelligence or talent, it's about hard work and dedication. Senior year was a whole other challenge. It was not a year about hard work, it was about reflection and preparation, reflecting on who we want to be and preparing for our futures, whether that was writing college applications, getting jobs, or just finishing classes. It was stressful at times, but it was built off the resilience from previous years. We have stood strong through the many challenges this year, and now that chapter is being closed. All that will be left are the fond memories we created together and the permanent friendships we have made. Memories like prom and senior skip day, to memories of hanging out with friends. I never would have been able to make it this far without all the people who have changed my life, all the people who have supported and guided me. First of all, my teachers, who not only taught me the classics, but about life. Dr. Valerie, who taught me that any problem can be solved if you just keep at it. Mr. May, who always told me to look at the consequences of an action, no matter how good the action seems. Ms. Covington, who taught me not to judge a book by its cover, to read thoroughly and remember where someone's coming from. Mr. Minotti, who showed me all the fallacies and to know when it's not worth arguing with someone. Miss Valerie, who brought me into music my first time singing in front of an audience. Ms. Hopper, who explained how we should look to the past to better our future. Ms. Schroeder, who encouraged me and helped me bring my creative vision to life. Mr. Clemacco, who taught me about the importance of teamwork. And Coach Easton, who taught me to be a leader and always put in effort. I also will never forget my friends who walked with me through this journey. All the magical people I met at this school, laughing together, struggling together, and growing together. Thank you all for the amazing memories I can hold on to, and all the future memories I will make. Finally, my biggest supporters, my family. Thank you to my mom for always being there to support me and having my back. I know I haven't always been the best son, but thank you for putting up with me for 18 years. Your resilience in keeping our home as a safe place has meant more to me than you'll ever know. Thank you to my oldest sister for being an inspiration to me, driving us to school and standing up to the challenge when no one else could. I don't know anyone as strong as you. Finally, thank you to my dad. You were always there for me and pushed me farther than I ever could have imagined. Always believed in me when I couldn't believe in myself. The one who told me, if you fall, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and try again. Those words have never ceased to inspire me and have been more of an impact on me than you can ever imagine. I'm happy you get to watch your son walk the big stage. The same stage that every graduate here will walk. Every proud parent will watch on as we all are on the brink of new beginnings. It's important that we remember the lessons we learned here together. This has been more than a place of education. It's been a place of growth, of finding ourselves, and of preparing for the future. We have all faced numerous challenges, and we would not be standing here if we had not overcome them. We have set goals and achieved them. We have made it. And so, as we move on to new chapters of life, let's carry the lessons that we have learned. Let's remember to put in all our effort into whatever we decide to do. Let's remember that failure happens, but we just pick ourselves up and dust ourselves off because we cannot be defeated. Let's remember to always support each other the way we have supported each other all of these years. We are in this together, and we only walk alone if we choose to. And finally, let's remember to be grateful. Grateful for all the opportunities we have been given, for the people who supported us, and all the experiences that have shaped us. Being thankful for the day that we have been given, and remembering that life is a blessing. Now, let us step boldly into the future with a confident step, knowing that we are ready for whatever comes next. Thank you, and congratulations to the graduates of the class of 2024.